Hey, what's up? It's Al Horta from Black Spinner Circle Vidcast. My partner Andy Rodriguez below me. How are you?
Hey man, what's going on, guys?
We're live on Facebook and Black Spinner Circle on YouTube and Be Cool to Be Podcast on YouTube. So it's all live on those channels. So, go check them out on there or on Facebook and wherever. And they'll live on forever after this live show. So,
Forever.
Andy, man, how's it going, brother?
It is going fantastic. I'm so excited that we're doing this because we're doing top 10 songs about storms, and I'm really glad that you and your family did very well during the storm, that monumental storm that hit y'all. So that's what we're doing here. It's an homage to that area of
Yeah.
Georgia and the Carolinas.
Yeah, Hurricane Helene just hit down here, and fortunately I'm okay. But a lot of people along the shoreline, man, they got pretty devastated, man.
Cedar Key. I love that place. I've been there a lot of times, man.
Yeah, Longboat Key, and all those areas along the west coast of Florida, man, they got hit pretty hard, and a lot of people lost every. I know I work with two people that lost everything actually, so. My heart goes out to not only people of Florida, but Georgia, South Carolina, all up the eastern seaboard, that got affected really badly, man. And my heart goes out to you, and I'm sure I speak for these guys on the panel as well. So,
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
So hopefully you guys will get the help you need and get through it. So anyway, because that happened, I was like, let's do top 10 songs about storms, hurricanes, whatever, anything storm related. I know we did a show a while back about, I think
it was BS. I think we did it.
Yeah, did we do it about like rain or like wet or like,
yeah, anything with rain or weather? Yeah. So
yeah, okay. But hey, listen,
we didn't do it here, so that's cool.
It might be. I think it's a little bit different, so. Could be a little different.
Yeah, I got a few different songs.
So I'm ready to go.
I don't know. You want to do what's spinning, Andy? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
I don't know if you got anything, Jerry, that you've been spinning.
Yeah, a couple things. Since we talked about, we did the top 9 last week, and I mentioned Fleetwood Mac, the classic era lineup. So yeah. I got this 5-pack of. Peter Green and Bob Welch era Fleetwood Mac albums. I've been listening to them. Really good stuff, man.
You know what?
You got Then Play On, Kiln House, Future Games, Bare Trees, and Mystery to Me. Bare Trees is like one of my favorite albums in that day. So been checking that out lately. Good stuff. I rag on In the Air Tonight, but I've been listening to this a lot lately. I forgot what a great fucking album this is, man.
That's a great debut of his.
Yeah. I mean, and to keep it going, it's my favorite Genesis album. Been listening to that lately.
Hey, all right.
Good stuff, yeah.
Genesis kick.
And Wasp's first album, I've been revisiting it. I can't say anything because we're doing a review of it on Friday, but okay.
All right. We'll check out the review on Friday, man.
Yeah, because we have a good panel. We got Eric, we got Ralph Vieira, so it's going to be fun. So,
that's cool. Yeah.
Yes, hell is frozen over. Ralph Vieira is going to be on the Freeform Rock podcast.
Wow.
I never thought I'd live to see that.
Oh, by the way, has anybody heard anything from Nate, man? I know he's in that area, man. I've heard nothing from him on the internet.
Who?
Nate Ashenson. Bushy?
No, I haven't. I don't know. I know my buddy Manny. Manny Mahias, he always does the Almost Human channel as well.
Yeah.
And he lost a bunch of stuff too, man.
Okay.
And it's kind of been a gut punch for him because he got into a bad car accident, totaled his car, and then now the storm. He posted a picture earlier, and he lost a bunch of albums and CDs, and probably 400 albums and
shit.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. I have a shelf like this. I rarely keep stuff on. I mean, I don't have a threat of flooding here anyway.
Yeah.
But I rarely keep stuff on the bottom shelf. You should always if you have a threat that you're gonna get water in your house and you have a collection, keep it on higher.
Yeah, I live on a hill, so I'm cool. So we're very.
I don't have a threat of any flooding here, so I'm alright. But man, if I knew my house had a chance of flooding, I wouldn't keep albums on lower shelves, man. I keep that shit elevated, dude.
Yeah.
Or any like prized possession you have, you
Right.
know. Because she just posted a picture today that a bunch of albums like outside are all like ruined and shit like that. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
you know, us as music lovers, when we see that, it's like a gut punch, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I know-
$10,000 shit gets destroyed. Who cares? But the albums and the CDs get destroyed. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, dude, you get more upset with that, dude. It's like, I mean, listen, man, he's alive, he's okay.
Yeah,
That's the most important thing. But you know, material things you can always replace. But it just sucks that you spend, you know, I mean, he was like, I had like rare Hendrix albums, and I had the first 2 Quiet Riot albums with Randy Rhoads on that got destroyed, and
Oh, wow.
I'm like, dude, when it's like that stuff, man, keep that shit like high, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what insurance costs out there now, but it's got to keep going up and up every fucking year, man. On stuff, man.
Yeah, it's not cheap, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I love Florida. I would do anything to move back there. I would love to someday, but man, there's just the threats of these hurricanes, and the prices are going up, which is everywhere, but
Yeah.
deterring me a little bit. So I don't know.
well, now there's like this whole like I think isn't it like the longshoremen are going on strike or something like that? That's going to affect, you know, like everything, man.
Yeah,
You
the
know?
ports up along the East Coast are shutting down. Dude, they want a 70% raise, dude.
That's wow.
70% raise.
That's I
They're
think
not going
you're
to go back to work until they get it. Who asked for 70%? Come on.
wow.
That's crazy.
I mean, you got to be real.
Unless they're getting paid shit. I mean, that's the only way I can.
The longshoremen get paid good money, man.
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking. I mean,
Oh yeah, I think want to raise this up to like 75 or 80,000 a year is what they're striking for.
That's like almost being like a union, you know, guy.
It
You
is
know,
a union.
and I was a union guy in New Jersey, man. I got good money up there, man. Although I got a pay cut coming down here, but the good thing is that I paid my house off in cash, man. Like my house is paid off.
Yeah.
I paid that off in one shot. I got no mortgage over my head.
That's gotta be
like
awesome.
That's like a world of difference, man. You know, like so I can afford to take a bit of a pay cut.
Yeah.
You know, but still, man, you know, groceries and all sorts of that shit, man. It sucks, dude.
Dude,
You know, you gotta pay out your ass.
dude, and because of these ports closing, everything's gonna start going up.
Yeah.
Or it's
Just when they were kind of going down, now they're gonna go up again. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? It's close to election time.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say
All
the
this
same
shit
thing.
is
Yeah.
The
happening.
timing is always right.
Yep,
Always is.
sure is.
Andy, let's talk about better things.
Yeah.
So, Andy, what do you got spinning, bro?
Dude, I have been so enthrust into 1965. I'm still there. I'm going to be here until October the 12th. Hey, what is going on?
Chris,
with
Redbeard,
portfolio? How's it
Jason,
going, man?
what's up, brothers?
What's up, Chris and Jason? So, this week in 1965, you know,
Chris,
I was
there you go.
doing some Beatles stuff, but then we need to also do the Capitol years. So I spun Beatles 6 off of Capitol, and then also Beatles helped the soundtrack, which is really cool because soundtrack songs kind of sound like James Bond songs from the soundtrack. So that was really cool. That's what I've been listening to, and also streaming Miles Davis ESP. I streamed that. It was so good. I know that I've heard a little bit of Miles Davis here and there, but it's really different when you hear the whole album. This guy named Wayne Shorter, an album called Juju, another jazz guy. I've been listening to a lot of jazz because of
keep talking because I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and also Donovan Fairy Tale. That was the thing with Donovan, and I wanted to talk to Jerry about this as well. When I'm listening to Donovan, it sounds like Syd Barrett was trying to write like him at the time. Like when Syd Barrett and Pink Floyd came out with their debut album, it was like he was trying to do a play of words like Donovan was doing.
Yeah, whether that's coincidental or not, I don't know. I don't recall any
inspiration or them even.
I don't recall any publicly about it.
Right.
But I'm not saying. Yeah, it could be so.
Yeah, but it's just the songwriting is just so different. Um, Also, this was interesting. Paul Simon, the Paul Simon songbook. When I was hearing it, there are a lot of songs on that Paul Simon songbook from '65 that'll make it onto Simon and Garfunkel. But this was stripped back without Garfunkel and just acoustic guitar and just Paul Simon, which I love Paul Simon's voice. So that was a little different to hear those kind of songs, which it was like I'm a rock sound, the sound of silence, a Kathy song, which is one of my favorite Simon Garfunkel songs. I love Kathy's song. I don't know how familiar y'all are with Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, I love Simon and Garfunkel.
So this Paul Simon, the Paul Simon songbook, like I was saying, there's several Simon and Garfunkel songs that they'll do later on with Garfunkel, but this is just Paul by himself, which is really cool. The Zombies Begin Here, which was another great band that was part of the British invasion. So I'm going to keep on doing this 1965 until I gave myself until October the 11th. No, November the 11th. No, wait, what month are we in? October 11th, and then I'll switch to 66. So, man, I've been spinning a lot of different kinds of music, so I'm so excited. Cool. Also, just to say, the Mets won. Congratulations to Al and Chris Elio. They won 8-4 out there in Milwaukee. So that's what I've been spinning, and that's what I've been listening to.
Let's hope the Mets can keep it up, man. All right, what I've been spinning, a friend of mine sent me this Slash album, Slash 4, signed by Miles Kennedy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he met him up in New Jersey. He did a little acoustic concert. When I was living up in New Jersey, one of the radio stations, they were having these little mini like acoustic concerts called parking lot parties, and it would be right outside of the station in the parking lot actually, and they were getting like Plush and Coheed and Cambria, Crowbot, a bunch of different bands, man, like more newer kind of up and coming, artists. But Miles Kennedy did an appearance there, and he did like a little acoustic set. And my buddy got my album signed for me, so it was kind of cool, man. I met Miles before, actually. I never got a picture with him, but I have another autographed the Alter Bridge. I have an Alter Bridge CD signed by him, and what's his name from Alter Bridge too, from Creed, the guitar player.
Tremonti.
Yes.
Mark.
Yeah. So great guys. I've met them before, so really cool. So yeah, man, this is kind of cool. I'm not, admittedly, I like Miles Kennedy, but he's not my favorite vocalist. Like I wouldn't put him like in my top 10 or 20. But he's a great vocalist, but I don't know, like he's not in the upper echelon for me. There's something about like his voice, the tone, it's not my favorite, but that's not to take away from his talent. He's great vocalist, man. Oh, yeah, I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, I think he's a great singer, but there's so many like him, though. I mean, it's just not original, but it's still good, though, in my opinion. I mean, I love Alter Bridge.
So that, and, the last couple of years has been a lot of talk about, the Black Crowes, reuniting, and now they're going to be playing, now that Aerosmith kind of called off their tour, they're doing like their own tour now. They're actually going to play down here in Florida. I'd like to go see them again. But in the interim, when they were like broken up, Rich Robinson had this band called Magpie Salute. So I kind of been revisiting that, man. And I have both their albums, full-length albums, but this was like a 3-song like EP. And it's him and Mark Ford, who used to be in Black Crowes in the 90s and stuff. And Magpie Salute, I've been revisiting it. I got to see them live once because they did tour. And I saw them live in New York, and they were fantastic, and they did like Black Crowes and all sorts of cool stuff, And then all of a sudden, man, one day it was just like, I guess the Robinson brothers kissed and made up, and boom, that was the end of this group. So I guess you got to go where the money's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I heard of that, but I never heard anything from them yet. Maybe I'll check that out tonight.
They're really good, man. I mean, it's just really kind of sort of like an extension of kind of the Black Crowes sound,
Yeah.
And getting having Mark Ford and Rich
Mhm.
Robinson like as a guitar tandem again was really great because it reminded me of, like the Crowes in the '90s when they were at their peak,
Yeah.
So then seeing them live was great. It was kind of cool because I never saw the Crowes in the '90s, so seeing Mark Ford was cool. I was kind of bummed that like when they reunited, they didn't include him in the reunion.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of pissed about that, But what can you do? I guess, And the drummer, I think the drummer of the Black Crowes, he kind of burned a bridge with them. So
Steve Gorman, yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, he sure did with that.
He wrote a book and threw all sorts of dirt and shit.
It's funny. Listen, I played basketball with him a couple of times, man. He's a cool dude, man.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
He really is a nice guy. I mean, I know how he did. Down in South Florida, man. He used to live. I don't know. I never knew exactly where he lived. He'd always,
yeah.
He would always go down to Santa Lucia's High School in West Palm Beach and just shoot hoops. And nobody knew who he was until a couple of weeks later. But Steve Gorman, yeah, it was him. I swear.
Great drummer, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, he wrote that book, and pretty much when the Black Crowes got back together, the news was just the Robinson brothers. That's enough to get everybody all hyped up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People like us, we like to see the original guys.
At least Oasis is trying to get the original guys back together. Well, they got who they got? They got it.
Bonehead is part of it.
Yeah.
I think Bonehead. I think he might be. I think he might be the only one from the original group that might be a part of it as well. So, because I think he was a part of Liam's band. I think they brought him into this. So
okay, into this project. For America, Cage the Elephant's going to open up. That's interesting because I love Cage the Elephant. That's a big spot for them.
Yeah, that is. Shit, they're playing stadium, so
yeah.
I know they're playing in New Jersey. They're playing at MetLife Stadium, so there's a lot of hype about that now. So.
And they're only playing like 5 dates here in America, right?
Well, I think they're going to probably add more. They want to probably see how they sell, and they're going to add more, man. There's nowhere they're going to come over here and just do 5 dates, in my opinion. I mean, if those sell well, and I think they'll add more shows. So, but they sold out like fucking 7 nights in like Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, but in America, do you think they could do stadiums like that, like MetLife?
Probably maybe for one show, and they've been gone for long enough where like interest is built for them, I guess.
Yeah.
15 years. I mean, they've been gone like 15 years, so that's a long time. I think there's a kind of a nostalgia factor there now. So I think they'll sell them, man. So
I don't know. I never just. I mean, I thought they were a decent band, but are they that great of a band?
They were way more massive in like UK and Europe. Yeah. I mean, to sell out seven nights at Wembley State, that's like
it's impressive. Yeah,
that's very dude. 7
that's
nights
like 100.
Wembley, that's
like 100,000 people, man. Like,
yeah,
that's insane, dude.
That's almost 1 million people in a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how massive they were there, man. And again, staying away, like being away long enough, man, it builds interest, man.
Yeah, that does.
So anyway,
especially since Liam and Noel have had separate projects, and they've been touring, so that they got their chops. That they can play. That they still have it. It's not like they're gonna go in without having played for over a decade.
Yeah.
They've been doing this, just not together. So,
and I saw Noel last year. I saw him in Central Park, New York, and I thought he was great. Sounded great, and I mean, it was a large crowd. It was a pretty decent, like, sized crowd, man. It was no stadium, but I mean, it was. And Garbage opened up for him, so that was a good two band bill. So
yeah. You see, I don't have anything against them at all because I think they're a really good band, but I don't know enough of them to go see them in a stadium or pay that kind of price. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like their first 3 albums a lot, man, and like, but I never after the 3rd album and after like the original band kind of splintered apart, I lost interest in them, man. I just kind of fizzled off, and they kind of fizzled off here in America anyway. Like their popularity waned, but they remain big in like UK and stuff like that. But but I mean, their first 3 albums, I love them, man. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I heard. I think their second one the other day because I do own a couple of them.
What's the Story, Morning Glory? I mean, it's a great album, man, and I love the first one too. So
That's definitely maybe, isn't it?
definitely maybe, yeah. That's a great album. Anyway, all right. So, and I just want to say, there's been a lot of deaths this week, man. So I just want to say, Pete Rose. I know my man Jerry's wearing a red shirt there in honor of him, and John Amos today.
Today, John Amos.
Yep. And John Asher, right?
John Ashton, yeah.
Ashton. That was, and I was just, not too long ago, I watched the new Beverly Hills Cop, and he was in it. And that sucks, dude. He had cancer, I guess. And
Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson, too, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of great movies he was in, too, man.
Oh, yeah. He was a great movie.
He was a badass in Blade.
I think the original guitarist from Anvil died a couple days ago, too.
And the original guitarist from Anvil. There's been a lot of, man, just kind of one after the other, so.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh, Dikembe
yes.
Mutombo,
Yeah. No.
Dude, he was a badass. And not just that, like our great friend Mark Alden Taylor was saying, he was also a great humanitarian. He really was. He was. I know that he played here in Houston for a number of years, and everybody here just loved him.
Yeah.
Mutombo, yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's get to the task at hand.
Yeah.
Top 10 songs about storms or anything related to storms. If you have honorable mentions, we'll go through them after. We'll start with you, Jerry, number 10, man. You want to start off the...
Oh, sure. Sorry, yeah. I have pictures of me and Steve Gorman. I'm trying to find them.
Of what?
Me and Steve Gorman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
I have to use old film, though, unfortunately. We didn't have cell phones back in the day. I know I got some. I'll put them up later.
That's awesome.
If I could find them. Let's see. Number 1, actually, kind of a weird song. It's from the Pixies called "Stormy Weather."
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's basically all it basically says is it's stormy weather. It's basically that's all the lyrics on it. But I've always thought they were a cool band. I don't think they got enough credit as far as the. I think they're more of a true grunge band than some of the other bands were in that era. So,
well, Nirvana took a lot of was influenced by them a lot.
A lot of their style, yeah.
Going from I think the quiet to the loud.
The start to stop.
That was a Pixies, trademark.
Yeah, and
Kurt admitted it too. He always said, and I saw the Pixies live once, man. They were cool, man. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool tune. So, their songs were short and sweet back in the day, and this one's kind of really short actually, but it's kind of a cool tune, and it's stormy weather. I mean, that's the topic, so I picked.
Yeah,
that's my number 10.
Awesome, man. Jerry. I mean, Andy.
I almost put that song in here, Jerry. That's a really good song. I like that. I really do. I'm going to start off with Bob Dylan with "Shelter from the Storm," which was off of Blood on the Tracks. It tells a fascinating story about how things. He was going through a bad divorce at that time with his wife. So that's what the song's about. That he would meet these different people, and specifically women. And she said, "Come here, and I'll give you shelter from the storm." I've always loved that line. Come here, she said. I'll give you shelter from the storm. When things are going wrong, I'll shield you from the things that are going on in the outside world. So shelter.
I was never a big Dylan fan, but I always liked that song. So
that's such a good song.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing his movie too. It's coming out in a few weeks. So I like those movies. I like the Queen one. I didn't care for the Elton John one too much. The Bob Marley one was good. I've never seen the Amy Winehouse one yet, but I'm looking forward to the Bob Dylan one. So.
Yeah, that the only thing, I was so excited about that Elton John one because I love Elton John.
Oh, it's awful.
It was too skipping around, way too much skipping around. If they would have just kept it in chronological order, and when they would put songs where they didn't belong,
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I shouldn't be surprised because it's Elton John. You're going to expect like a musical, so it doesn't really surprise me. But yeah, I don't know. Didn't care for it.
It just didn't fit right, and
Yeah.
you know, it is his life, and who am I to say that didn't sound right to me? But I wasn't happy with that, Reggie. All right.
I wonder if that line is true, where they said him and Bernie never got into a fight. That's kind of hard to believe.
That's hard
You know
to
what I
believe
mean?
with all
It
that.
is. It said
All
they
that
never
history
fought.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I
Excellent.
don't know. Elton can be a diva sometimes, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Man,
But what a combo, though! What a combo, though! So,
Oh yeah,
Especially at that time with all the drugs, and you know,
yeah.
at that time he was the top musician in the world at that time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Ah, man, imagine the ego.
all right, man. My number 10. I'm going with this Canadian band called I Mother Earth, and in 1993 they had their debut album called Dig, and not the band Dig, because
Yeah.
remember we did a thing on band
yeah.
Dig, but it's funny because their debut album is called Dig by the band I Mother Earth. They're out of Canada, and if you like alternative of the 90s, like they're a great band. And then the song I'm picking by them is called Rain Will Fall. And if you like, it has almost kind of like they sound a bit like Jane's Addiction on this song, like with the guitar and everything like that. But great band, man, underrated band. Edwin, the singer, ended up singing on Alex Lifeson's Victor album. That when Alex came out with a solo album in the mid '90s, he used Edwin as like the vocalist on some of the songs, and so that's the Canadian connection there. And the guitar player, Jagori Tana, man, it's fantastic. Very underrated guitar player. I mean, like, this dude is amazing. You know, I never got to see them live, but I mean, I don't think they ever came down to my area anyway. You know, because they were just kind of more popular. Nobody really knows them down in the U.S., so they're one of those bands that just kind of never got out of Canada, really, like, in popularity. But they were popular up there. But I'm going to put them at my number 10 because I really love that Dig album. And I mean, it's like if you threw their sound is kind of like if you mix Jane's Addiction, The Doors, even throwing a little tiny bit of Primus in there, even a little bit like Metallica, like, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Dude, like if you mix all that together, it's kind of like their sound. So interesting. I mean, we Andy, maybe one day, man, we'll do a deep dive on this album, man. You know.
Yeah,
And you know, get the word out there because it's a really good album. And if it came out in 1993, so like alternative was well underway, and this album kind of fit right into that era. So yeah, I know the Earth Rain Will Fall. That's my number 10. So we'll go to number 9, Jerry.
My number 9 is actually, I'm going to really go poppy here, and I always thought this woman's ballads were her best songs, in my opinion. I'm gonna go with Madonna off the Erotic album, Rain, just called Rain.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It's a beautiful song. Her ballads like Live to Tell, Rain, and what's that other one? Fuck,
Crazy for You.
No, well that one's good too, but there's another one, a real big hit.
This I Used to Be My Playground. Oh, I love that song too.
No, the one where she's like going out with some bullfighter or something in the video. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I know that one.
Really good song.
Babyface is on there with Babyface.
Yes, that one.
Take a bow.
Take a
bow. That's it. I just thought her. I mean, I just thought her ballads were all beautiful, man.
Dude,
she had a lot of great songs, man, back in the day.
Yeah, she was good, man.
Madonna was a shit, man. I mean, she was huge, man.
She was.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Right now, she's trying to be too young with all this garters and dancing the way she is. She should do a tour of balladries. Dude, that'd be so awesome. If she would just do an intimate shows singing her ballads. Be amazing.
Yep. I would pay to see that.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I've seen Madonna. I want to say. I know I saw her twice. I want to say maybe 3 times, but I know I definitely saw her twice. And the first time I saw her was probably like 2007, I think. and she was great, man. I mean, I thought she was fantastic. And then the last time I saw her was probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and she was okay. I mean, she was starting to get really into that whole diva. Unfortunately, she didn't come on late because she's been notorious now for really coming on late.
Really late.
Shows.
Yes.
She came on time, which was, thank God, because I think because it was at Madison Square Garden, I believe, and you go overtime there, man, you're paying a lot of money in overtime, union dues and fees and stuff like that. So, yeah, you don't want to go late on Madison Square Garden unless you pre kind of pay for it or pre have it planned out where you're going to go, late. But usually 11 o'clock is like the cutoff time at the Garden, because I think you got to time it with the trains and everything too. When people, the trains, it's right. Penn Station is right underneath.
Yeah,
Madison Square Garden. So a lot of people take the train in to see a show. So, I mean, if you're going to end your concerts at like 1 or 2 in the morning, you're fucking the people, really, man. You're not going to get home, So, because at the last train, I think it's like 1:20 or something like that in the morning. And then you got to wait until like 5 something in the morning if you miss that train, So.
I always thought that they ran 24/7.
No, there's like after like 1:20 or 1:30 or somewhere around there, it cuts out for a few hours. And then the next one won't be until like 5 something in the morning.
Is that around the whole city or just there in Penn?
Well, that's New Jersey. That's like New Jersey Transit and that, going from New York to New Jersey. I mean, like the subways are 24.
Okay. All right. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So, where we at here?
I just did Madonna Rain.
Okay.
I'm at my number 9, and it's odd because it's another Bob Dylan song, and this one is off of the late 70s. I forgot the name of the album, but it's Hurricane. It tells the story of the fighter and who was unfairly charged with
Hurricane
murder.
Carter, right?
Yeah, Hurricane Carter.
Yeah.
And Denzel Washington did a movie about that as well. It's called Hurricane. But this song is featured in I think the opening and the closing credits, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Hurricane again, another one by Bob Dylan. I promise it's not going to be a whole Bob Dylan show for me.
We're doing a Bob Dylan top 10 tonight, everybody.
But it's just those two.
All right, my number 9, I'm going with Deep Purple, Stormbringer. The second album that they did with David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes. The song was written by Richie and David. Pretty heavy tune, man. Like, I love this song from the Coverdale era, and I'm kind of warming up more to the Coverdale era now. I never was big on it, and but I've been like spinning So I mean, Burn is a great album. I've always known that album, but I'm kind of going with the other ones. This one, and then the Tommy Bolin era album. So Come Taste the Band and that stuff. So like I never really dove deep into those albums. So I'm kind of I'm still a Mark II guy like Andy is as well. Very much an Ian Gillan guy, but I do respect Coverdale and Hughes. I mean that's a powerhouse like duo coming into the fucking band, dude.
No kidding. Yeah.
That's insane, dude. Like I always, it's kind of like I always found it kind of strange that they never kind of linked up ever again. Like I always thought like Coverdale and Hughes should get together and like do like a tour together and do like some Purple stuff, and it'd be kind of cool because I know Glenn Hughes is out there doing like a Purple tour of his own, and I keep missing it, man. I missed it up there in New York, and then I think he might have just played down here in Florida, man. I keep missing. I'd love to see him, man. I saw him with the group he had with Jason Bonham and Black Country Communion. I saw one of the few shows that they did, and they did in New Jersey. That's when I got to meet Glenn Hughes. I got to meet the whole band. And
Bonamassa, right? Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, that's right. He was in that too.
Joe Bonamassa, Glenn Hughes, Jason Bonham, and Derek Sherinian from that was in Dream Theater.
Dream Theater, yep.
Yeah. So I got to meet all them guys, man. Great dudes. I wish I would have got a picture with Glenn Hughes but they were sitting behind the table. It's kind of couldn't really do it. But Jason Bond was cool. He was sitting at the end of the table, like on a chair, like kind of on a couch at the very end of the table. And I was like, dude, and he's like, dude, come sit here. And I got a picture with him. Yeah, Jason Bond. It's on my Facebook. If you go on my Facebook, you'll see it. So, you know me in pictures with the bands, man.
Yes.
I was trying to see if I could stick around and because I just saw that show, that King Crimson show, that Beat.
Oh yeah. How was that?
Oh my God, that was fantastic, man. God, you want to talk about musicianship?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, because I went alone to that, because a coworker of mine had a ticket for that and he couldn't go.
Yeah.
So he gave me his ticket, and then he was meeting his friend there. So I ended up meeting his friend, but I went alone. So I was like, you know what? After the show, I'm gonna go around the back of the venue. I'll stick around, see if I can meet them. I'd love to meet like Steve Vai and all them guys.
Yeah.
And but like I was back by the buses, but the way the set was kind of weird at this venue. There's a fence that kind of goes around the area where they park the buses, and they don't let you in like by the bus. So you're probably like 50 feet, 75 feet away from like where the buses are.
Oh,
so,
okay.
but the guy I was like working there, like the security guy, he's like, you can wait in this area by the fence, and if they come out and they come by you, then great, So Danny Carey from Tool walked out, but he was on his way to the bus, and there was a couple people like, hey, Danny, and they didn't like yell loud enough, man. He didn't hear them, so like he just kind of went in the bus, and that was it. And I heard like he's been cool on his tour, like he'll come over and talk to the fans. So I was like bummed out, man, because I would have loved to met him. I love Tool and stuff. So, and he's like such a great drummer, man. I mean, he's fantastic, and he was doing this material justice. So, but that was like the only guy came out, and then like the other guys, and then they were like, well, you can only be here like an hour after the show's over, then you got to leave. So they kind of kicked us out, and nobody else came out. Like Steve Vai didn't come out, or
stayed in there,
or Adrian Belew, or Tony Levin. I would have loved to have met all those guys, but yeah, man. I mean, the show itself was awesome, man. I mean, if you want to see musicianship, and they did like the '80s era Crimson, so it was really cool. So, and then at the end,
Tony Levin. Sorry.
At the end, at the encore, they did an older Crimson song, like from the late '70s. That they didn't have anything to do with, but they did it anyway. I guess just to give the crowd a little something. They didn't do 20th Century Skid Story. I think they wanted to stay away from that. That kind of era or whatever. So anyway, that was a great show. Anyway, so my number 9, Stormbringer by Deep Purple. You had a question, Jerry?
No, I was just going to ask you, did Tony break out the Chapman that night, man?
Oh, dude, he was like playing the shit out of that.
Isn't that fucking cool?
YouTube channel, man. I got the show up there, dude. And
oh, did you? Yeah, cool.
And the show came out fantastic, man. Yeah. One of my best film shows. I mean, I got a nice sight on the stage, and that venue is great for sound. The theater that I saw him in. So, yeah, go check out the video, man. It's I got both sets on there. They did 2 sets with a break in between. So they played a solid 2 hours.
Because your shows are usually very good. So this is amazing to say that this is the best one you've got.
It's one of the better. Well, I mean, sometimes I'm in an amphitheater and, it's kind of tough to like, people sit in front of you and I'm not the type of guy. I don't want to hold a cell phone like above. I don't want to obstruct anybody's view. I kind of want to be a little more stealth with it. I don't want to bother anybody around me, So I tend to keep it like chest level, and if I can get a good shot. But I usually like if I can move my seat and get out of the way of somebody, or like get a better sight, I'll do that. Or a lot of times if they have good screens and they're showing the band on the screen, I'll just point it up at the screen and just shoot the screen. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Anyway, that's my number 9. We're gonna go number 8, Jerry.
Speaking of Tony Levin, he played on this album. Peter Gabriel's first album, Here Comes the Flood, man. What a great song it is, man. Yeah. Holy shit, dude. What a great album. Great album. What a great band he is. They had he was with April Wine, the guitarist. Shit. What was his name? Yeah.
What, the guitar player on that album?
Yeah. Wasn't that him? Fripp?
Fripp was on there.
Yeah, Robert Fripp. He was on there. Yeah,
Fripp was
that
on
album
there,
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the great fucking band he had, and what a great way to end that album, dude. It's like that. I mean, I didn't really care for the last two songs, or 7 and 8, but when that song came on, Here Comes the Flood, man, what a great fucking tune that is. Peter Gabriel, man, I don't know. I think he's very underrated as far as his solo stuff. I mean,
I know.
I mean, yeah, he does get credit, right? To me, I just think his stuff is just so, I don't know, it's so well thought of and well done.
He definitely followed his own path, man. He was very innovative. He was very innovative on a lot of things too, man. You know, the Genesis thing, like when he was in Genesis was very much a prog band. He kind of like, when he went solo, he kind of abandoned that a bit, but he was still progressive, but just kind of in a different way. I think like a lot of these like new wave, like and everything, all these, because man, I mean, prog was big in the early to mid 70s. Then kind of like, it kind of morphed into like, what I call it art rock, really. Kind of like this new wave kind of started coming in, and a lot of those old prog bands started changing their sound up. Like they kind of started streamlining they weren't doing like friggin' half-hour long songs anymore. They were kind of streamlining their sound a little more. And I thought like they were, because I think the punk thing coming in, I think affected a lot of these bands. I think they rethought a lot of their songwriting. I mean, yeah, they didn't go punk, but I think the punk whole era, the whole punk thing, that because new wave kind of grew out of punk, you know what I mean? Let's take a band like Talking Heads. Talking Heads, man, they had kind of a little bit of in the beginning, they had kind of like that punk aesthetic, but they were very much like a very sophisticated band, man. I mean, their arrangements and their songs, was very much progressive, dude. You don't call them a prog band, but they were very arty, like very art rock kind of thing. And I think Peter Gabriel kind of grew into that kind of style, man. Very innovative, like production techniques and stuff like that, man. Yeah. I mean, dude, when you listen to his albums, man, there's one album where I think for the whole album, and I read this from a Neil Peart interview, because he was very much into like a lot of that, like new wave and kind of stuff. He was listening a lot. He loved Peter Gabriel, and he said like one of Peter Gabriel's albums didn't even have any cymbals on it. Like the percussionists just used pure percussion, no cymbals. And I'm trying to remember which album it is, but there is an album that he did where if you listen to it, you won't
I think it's Games Without Frontiers.
That's the one. That's the one. I think that album, the drummer didn't use any cymbals on it. It wasn't Phil Collins on that, was it?
I don't know.
I don't remember. He's had a lot of. Tony Levin became like kind of a side man. He's been a constant in Peter Gabriel's band, like on all his albums. So I actually bought that first album CD, that Peter Gabriel. So if I met Tony Levin, I was going to have him sign that, but I didn't get to meet him. So, but yeah, so that's your number 8, right?
Yes.
All right, Andy.
The thing with Peter Gabriel that I really that's so different is that it was like pop rock, but very different kind of pop rock. It was like, I don't want to call it underground, but it wasn't radio friendly. It was just like album.
Well, he was very eclectic, man.
Yeah, it was like album rock.
Yeah.
It was completely different from what Genesis became. And I'm not knocking either one of them. They just went a different path.
Yeah.
And they were both good for it as well. I'm going to go with Creedence Clearwater Revival, which y'all probably think what I'm going to say, but it's going to be a deep track called It Came Out of the Sky.
Oh, okay.
That's where storms come out of. It came out of the sky. I really like the way that I think a lot of CCR deep tracks are very underrated because John Fogerty is a fantastic guitar player, and they really stretch out a lot of their deep tracks to 7 or 8 minute guitar freakouts, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so It Came Out of the Sky by CCR.
All right, cool. I think I may have picked this on the BS session show, but I'm going to pick it here again. Well, I love the song. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs. I'm going with Rain. I mean, McCartney's just a beast on this song, man. That bass line it drives the whole song, man. It's just fantastic. I love that song. I love that bass line that McCartney does. That's no reason. It's not no wonder why he gets a lot of bass players, cite him as an influence
Yeah,
because
they should. And
Yeah.
Ringo's drums on that track,
and
dude. Oh my
exactly the rhythm section on that song
Yeah.
is just amazing.
They're so since I'm listening to 65 right now, I've heard about 5 or 6 of their albums. And just the music that's going on.
Is that how many albums they released in that year?
Yeah, because according to also they did the Capitol Records.
True.
So because Help and Rubber Soul were released, and then there were 3 Capitol Records. So
Yeah,
they did
Beatles
5
6, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
6.
That was so cool about the 60s and 70s. Bands would release like 2 albums a year, sometimes
Yeah,
3.
Sometimes 3, man.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It's amazing how prolific, like,
Mm-hmm.
But then, then again, the albums were like probably half hour, 35 minutes. It was
True. Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to pinpoint too, because when I'm going through this 1965, they're like 30-minute albums, all of them so far.
They're short albums, man. I mean, by today's
So-
standards,
So
they're
I
very
can get
short.
through them pretty quickly. I can go about 2 in the morning, like when I'm getting ready for work and when I'm driving to work. I
Yeah,
get a couple of albums done, so it's pretty cool.
yeah. So yeah, Beatles Rain. That's my number 8. So we'll go 7, Jerry.
I'm going to go with. It does have rain in the title. Is it about a storm necessarily? I don't think so, but gotta have "Fool in the Rain," man. Come on, that's a great song by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
In Through the Outdoor, great album. The whole thing is good. All My Love, it does have one dud on it, but the rest of them are good. I like Hot Dog, but Fool in the Rain" such a fucking great tune, dude. I love
like
that.
the breakdown.
The keyboard, yeah, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's fucking really cool. I mean, it's pretty much just Plant and Jones on that album mostly. I mean, I think Page was pretty wasted all the time, and so was Bonham. But heavy synthesizers on it, you can tell from John Paul Jones. Yeah, it's a cool tune. There's some pretty songs on that. All My Love. I mean, just loaded with these really, beautiful tunes, man. The exception of Caras Alhambra, it's almost a perfect album. So
see, I love that song, man.
Yeah,
I do like that song.
a lot of people hate Hot Dog and they love Caras Alhambra, but I'm different. I like Hot
You're-
Dog, man, for some reason.
I don't hate
I
Hot Dog either.
I like
play,
Elvis Robert Plant, man. I mean, why not? It's
I used to
cool.
play that song in a band that I was in.
Yeah.
It was a fun song to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the beginning, the lead off track in the evening. God, so good.
In the
So
evening,
good.
yeah, that's such a
Yeah.
fucking great track, man.
Yeah,
Oh, Southbound Suarez. It's just like great tunes on there, man.
I always thought
I
that.
love
I always thought that album just kind of pointed. It was like it kind of pointed where Robert Plant was going when he was going in his solo career.
Yeah.
I find his first 2 songs to be kind of an extension of like In Through the Outdoor, kind of. I'm
trying to find a copy of the with the bag around it that's in good shape, but I can't. It's like people sell it with tears in it and shit.
Oh, like the original,
Yeah, that's what I have. I have the one without the cover, but I want the one with the paper bag. I just can't find it.
My paper bag has a little bit of creases on it, but other than that, it's in great shape.
Yeah, there's some things that I want near mint, and the Zeppelin collection is one of them. Like Zeppelin, Maiden, and Kiss,
Yeah.
and Pink Floyd. I try to get as close to mint as possible.
Yeah, if you get the original, like you want to mint,
Yeah,
tough to find though, man. Sometimes
it is. Yep, it is.
And if you do find it, you're gonna pay some money for it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
If my wife finds out that I pay, a lot for a certain album, she'll kill me. So
yeah, I get to a point, man. Like, do I really want to spend I think the most I ever spent on an album was $150.
yeah, I've never spent that much yet.
But that was because it was such a rare album. It's that King's X before they were King's X,
Oh, okay.
and they were called Sneak Preview, and it was independently they pressed up. I don't know how many copies of it, but I think the band ended up destroying a lot of the copies because they didn't like the album or whatever, some of them made it out, and I found a sealed copy.
Wow.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, man, you should dig for gold, man, because you'll probably find it, man. Just dig a hole in your backyard, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So,
So
13
I was
carats.
like for $150 because I don't normally spend that much on albums.
Right.
I don't. It just I just can't justify myself, man, dropping that kind of money. Like, but for this one, I made an exception. It was sealed, it's mint condition, So I was like, fuck it. And King's X is one of my favorite groups, so I can splurge a little bit. One of my holy grails, that I want to get is the first Rush album, but they released it on Moon Records, which is they were shopping around for a label. Nobody picked them up, so they made their own label and they pressed up, like, I think 4,000 copies of it, if I'm not mistaken. It's on how the first Rush album has the pink Rush on there. Well, this has red lettering. The Rush is in red. It's on the original Moon label. I mean, that nowadays, that's going, if you find a good copy, it's going for like over $1,000.
Dude, no way. Wow.
Yeah. It's very sought after.
Wow.
And that's like my holy grail, but I just can never, I'm like, you know what? I have the first album, bro. I have the music. I just can't drop that kind of money, like, just because I want to get on a certain label.
Right.
Yeah, I'd love to have it and frame it, but I'm one of those hopeful types that, like, I'm at a flea market one day or at a garage sale, and, like, somebody doesn't know that they have what this is worth. It's like $1 or something. And I've heard stories of this.
Yeah.
But nowadays with the internet, everybody looks shit up and sees how everything is worth. And, it's tough to find unless it's like some elderly person that just wants to get rid of, stuff or whatever. It's tough to find albums cheap that, like, but I do bargain hunt. I mean, there are bargains out there. If you hunt, Andy knows this. Andy knows this. So
yeah, but Discogs has ruined my life, man. I tell you.
Yeah, everybody looks up, the internet, man. That damn internet.
Well, yeah, it's easy to do research to see how much shit costs. So they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to give this away for $2." Fuck yeah.
That's why it's just tough to get anything like for cheap anymore. Everything's like a collector's market now. Everybody wants to, cash out on shit. So.
Or everybody thinks that they have collector's items and they sell it at collector items prices, even though they're not.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not a collector item kind of guy. I like to buy stuff that I can just listen to.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the first pressing, the second pressing, or just as long as it plays and I can hear it. That's what matters to me the most.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So where are we on here?
I just did
number 7.
I just did Full in the Rain. That's right.
Okay, Andy, number 7.
This, it sucks that I have to give examples. This is going to be because of Storm Surge. Okay, My Wave by Soundgarden.
Okay.
Love that song. I wasn't too sure if My Wave would be able to be in the weather. That's why I added Storm Surge to it, because Storm Surge is it's a motherfucker, man. It really is. But My Wave, that's one of my favorite songs by Soundgarden. I absolutely love that song. I love the
Super Unknown. That's a great fucking album, man.
Classic album.
I love Chris Cornell's vocals on there, and of course the music for Soundgarden was just so perfectly done. I mean, that band went hand in hand together.
Oh, their time signatures are ridiculous, man.
Yes, dude. I mean,
they had some pretty cool compositions.
People weren't playing anymore at that time, and it was hard rock metal. My Wave by Soundgarden.
All right, cool. Number 7, I'm going with REO Speedwagon, Riding the Storm Out. One of their classic, 70s songs. Gary Richrath rips it up on here, man. The opening track of that album. Great album. And you know what? And again, like, I never knew a lot about, like, 70s REO until I started digging deeper, man. That's like, that era is awesome, man. Like, dude, I knew the popular REO, and then, going back and, Gary Richrath, such a great guitar player, and, very underrated, man, but he's respected in a lot of the guitar circles, but yeah, I've gotten more into, like, the 70s REO, man. And now, like, I'm kind of glad I saw them down here, even though it really was the Kevin Cronin show. But my wife had never seen REO, and she loves REO. She likes, she had their High Infidelity album, so she knows the hits and all that stuff. But it was great. Like, it was cool. I got her to go see them because she had never seen them before. and now they're breaking up. So
Yeah.
so they say, who knows? They'll probably kiss, make up, and go on a reunion tour. In like another year. So anyway, that's my number 7. Oreo.
Yeah. What's cool about those? What do they call it? What would you arena bands, corporate rock, whatever you want to call those types? Journey, Fleetwood Mac.
You go to the earlier material.
Yeah, all their stuff sticks. All their stuff before their classic lineups, man. Good stuff, man. Journey, Styx, Fleetwood Mac, REO, it's just really good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
more people need to discover it, man.
I agree.
So that's my 7, man. So we'll go to number 6, Jerry.
Yeah, but I was just gonna add those first 2 REO Speedwagon albums with a different singer. But dude, that guitar work on those albums.
Oh, Gary was awesome, dude.
So good. So good.
All right, 6.
All right, I'm gonna go with CCR too, but I'm gonna go with a popular classic and Who'll Stop the Rain.
Yeah.
Great fucking tune, dude. And you mentioned what a great fucking singer John Fogerty is. Another guy doesn't get a credit for his vocals much, but he gets a lot of good credit for a songwriter, but his vocals, I thought he has such an emotionally good voice, man. Classic CCR, dude, with fucking Stu and fucking Doug and Tom and John were just fucking awesome, dude. The shame that Tom gave John the finger on his deathbed. Kind of hoped they would make up at the end, but they didn't. So
yeah,
I think that's one of the worst last things he said is "fuck you" or something to John. I think.
Man, it just sucks, dude.
It does, man. I mean, but
it does. But you can understand why there was such animosity in between them. There was a lot of backstabbing, a lot of money grabbing, all sorts of stuff, and a lot of jealousy, and it just wasn't a very good sight for them at all. It was just bad.
Yeah, because I remember they did the Creedence Clearwater Revisited. It just, I don't know, it just wasn't the same, man.
My cousin wanted to go see them. It was like $20. I refused.
Really?
Oh no, I wasn't going to go see that. I wasn't going to go see.
Just go see John Fogerty, man. He puts on a great show.
Now I did see John Fogerty twice. Now that I was up in arms and paid like 3 times the amount.
Well, when he had not allowed to do those CCR songs for a while. Yeah. That's ridiculous, man.
What, live? You couldn't play him live?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think there was something going on there, and then when he came out with Center Field,
that
was his big comeback. He got sued for sounding like CCR.
Yeah, who the fuck's he supposed to sound like? Van Halen? I mean, really?
What kind of stupid shit is that, man?
Yeah. And he came and fucking play the shit that you wrote. I mean, that's what happened. Another band of mine, Little River Band, a favorite band of mine, man. It's like the original members can't even play in the United States.
Wow.
Their own stuff. It's like that's gonna be one of my 3 Shots Down episodes eventually in the future. But cool.
All right, where we at here?
I think you're on you. I did Andy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at number 6. I'm going to go with Scorpions. Wind of Change. I remember when that song came out. It was, you know what? I want to coincide with when the wall was coming down, or that time, or it might have been a year afterwards. And I think the song was for that.
It was. It said to follow the Moskva. That's the some marching band they have in Russia or something like that. I think.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right.
But that was the fall of the Berlin Wall, though.
Yeah.
That's what they were.
Referring
to. So it's always been one of my favorite songs by them. Wind of Change by Scorpions is my number 6.
All right, my number 6. I'm going with Dokken, Lightning Strikes Again.
Oh.
From their Under Lock and Key album. So it might not be so much about a storm, but lightning strikes. Yeah, it's storm related. So George Lynch just fucking rips it up. I love George. He just celebrated his 70th birthday too. So happy birthday, George Lynch, man. Still out there and doing a million projects. And I mean, the guy does more projects than like, holy shit, man.
Are still hitting the gym too.
Yeah.
That dude's buff. But the thing is that he is what saved Dokken from sounding like everybody else.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
his guitar work is just
element. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he definitely was one of the biggest guitar heroes of the 80s.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite guitar players.
He's right up there. I mean, he came up with Eddie and Randy Rhoads. So I mean, he was one of the three pillars on that Sunset Strip scene, man. Even though he was kind of the last guy to really kind of get known from the three of them, but and he was almost in Ozzy, man, for he almost got picked, but Jake Lee ultimately got the gig, And I remember, I think they didn't pick him because he had kind of shorter hair. He had kind of this almost kind of surfer kind of look, and Sharon just didn't want that, So, Jake looked, I guess, more of the rock star to what they were looking for look wise. But I mean, they went with a good pick because I love Jake Lee too.
Yeah, but don't you think that his hair also kind of looked like Randy Rhoads at the same? You know what I mean?
Well, George Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hairstyle.
Yeah. I thought Randy Rhoads always did like the feathered hair look.
The feathered hair.
George Lynch was more straight, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a hairstylist or pay attention to that too much, but I can see what you're talking about though. So
yeah, I mean, maybe that's what Sharon didn't want was some of the look, kind of a look-alike. You know what I mean? Maybe she was trying to avoid that.
But him not getting picked for Ozzy kind of worked out well because then Dokken became great. And, we had Dokken, we had
Ozzy.
Ozzy with Jake Lee, and so. But yeah, that's my number. Was it 6, right?
Yeah.
Dokken, Lightning Strikes Again.
Yeah.
From the Under Lock and Key album, which is their third album, great album. So. All right, number 5, Jerry.
I want to go with the wonderfully beautiful Shirley Manson. Garbage. It's the only happy when it rains.
Oh yeah, great song.
Always love that. That debut album's fucking amazing, dude. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Man. Stupid Girl, Milk, just some great fucking tunes on it, man. I loved her. I was crushing on her when she first came out. I thought she was hot,
dude.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Great singer and a great band too, dude. I mean,
yeah. When I saw them twice. So yeah, actually 3 times I saw them. I saw them open for U2. I saw them at a club in New Jersey, and then I just saw them open for Noel Gallagher. So I saw them 3 times. She has a stage presence on stage. She's just like mesmerizing, man.
Yeah, Yeah, she opened up for Alanis Morissette a few years ago. I saw that, man, and I love Alanis, but she gave Alanis a run for the money as far as live performances. They were intense, dude. They're really good fucking band, dude. Really good. And Shirley is just eye candy, dude. I'm sorry.
It really is.
Still is, man. Today.
Yeah, I saw them open up for the Pumpkins during the Melancholy and Infinite Sadness tour. So that was early on for Garbage as well. I mean, they were just coming up as well. That might have even been on their debut album. It was 90.
95, 90, yeah, around that area time. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember my friend turning me on to them. I'm like, you gotta check out this band called Garbage. I'm like, oh boy, sounds like a fucking winner there. I heard it. And
it's like the name is like, it's
name your band. It's a name. If you don't like the band, you can easily make fun of it. Like that's appropriate or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? I'm gonna listen to a band called Garbage.
No, they're solid though. They're good, man.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. So, I gotta get some more of their stuff. Actually, I don't have enough of it.
Love Shirley, man. That's my number 7 or 6. Where are we on 6?
5 now.
5
now. Okay.
Yeah, 5. I am going to go. This song has been done over and over. It's been remade and remade because it's a blues standard. But I'm going to go with the Allman Brothers version off of Live at the Fillmore East. I'm going with Stormy Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, great song, man.
Great album, great live album.
Yeah, I can't. No matter how much I do love the Allman Brothers, I cannot sit and listen to the version that came out in the 2000s or like in the late 90s when they did the whole, I think it was a big old box set of the whole recordings. I still stick to the double album to me.
Yeah.
That's just too much.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, how long did they play at the show? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But Live at the Fillmore by by the Allman Brothers, Stormy Monday.
All right, man. So my number 5, I'm going with Thin Lizzy, Thunder and Lightning. Oh man, we like that show that we did, man, on Thin Lizzy. That was one of the albums, man. John Sykes on this album. It's their last studio album, and he just out of the gate on this song, Sykes just friggin' destroys, man. You know, and it's a great song. I love this album, and I love Thin Lizzy. They've really become like one of my favorite bands, man. You know, so the quality of their like studio work is just so great. And this last album, Thunder and Lightning, it was just such a way to end like a career. You know what I mean? Just one of the best career ending albums. So yeah, John Sykes, dude. I mean, what can you say about him? Phil Lynott,
awesome.
You know,
I remember when I was introduced to the album by my uncle. We went to go visit my grandmother, and my uncle likes to travel at night. I don't think he does that much anymore because we're older. We can't see that well at night anymore. But dude, he goes, "Man, have you ever heard this album by them?" I said, "No, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with it." He popped in. I think it was like 2:30 in the morning, and and dude, I was like amazed by this guitar work. I was like, dude, because I remember just listening to basic Thin Lizzy.
yeah,
This was completely different from Jailbreak.
it was their
And
metal
I love
album.
Jailbreak.
They were fucking heavy, man.
Yeah, it was just. I was like, man, this is nuts. And
Yeah.
it should keep us awake on that road.
It did.
Yeah,
Sure
yeah.
it did. So that's my number 5, man. Thin Lizzy, Thunder and Lightning. So we're gonna go number 4, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the great album Tusk by Fleetwood Mac and go with the song Storms.
Nice.
Great Stevie Nicks tune, man. It's a pretty long song, but it's a real beautiful tune, man. Stevie's voice is just, I don't know. It's what's the word to describe her voice?
Angelic.
No, it just drags. It just brings you in. There's something so fucking amazing about her voice.
Mesmerizing.
Mesmerizing. That's a good word. I mean, you take a look at Stevie's career, even the duets she did with people, she just puts her voice and can just wrap it around anything, man. It's just Magnet and Steel, for example. She sings background that one. Just beautiful, her background harp. Tom Petty's 2 Tom Petty tunes, man. That are just awesome. Fucking Leather and Lace, man. I mean, it's just
Don Henley, yeah.
It's just amazing how she can sing with anybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, this song Storms, I think, is one of her best. And I listen to Tusk more than I listen to Rumors. I always thought Tusk was better. I don't know, maybe because Rumors was too played out, maybe. I don't know. But don't get me wrong.
Probably a burnout factor.
Yeah, but I thought Tusk had great tunes on it, man. Just I can't believe it wasn't as good or didn't sell as well as Rumors. Because I mean, at the time, I think it was the most expensive album to record at the time, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you could tell Lindsay was listening to a bit of new wave and like kind of that stuff crept in like on that album and
like the Ledge and songs like that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say punk, but I mean, I'm sure punk. I mean, the punk thing had an influence on a lot of rock bands, dude. Just like in the '90s, man, when grunge came in, and a lot of those older bands, like they rethought, about their songwriting, maybe, touching on more serious, darker subjects, and that's why a lot of the hair bands of the '80s released a lot of good albums in the '90s, man. Because it kind of. That whole era kind of just made them, well, maybe partying isn't the only thing we could sing about, not that there's anything wrong with it, dude. I mean, everybody loves to party and there's a time and place for it. That's why, like, I never turned my back on that era. It was like, I embraced the grunge and the alternative, but I still love, man, all that 80s stuff too. It had room on my shelf for both of them. And I don't understand why people like, could turn your back on like something like that you listen to.
I agree. You got ridiculed if you liked that stuff back then.
Yeah,
I mean, by some people, it was ridiculous.
All of a sudden,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'll listen to Soundgarden and I'll listen to Motley Crue, dude. I don't care shit, So anyway,
Storms, Fleetwood Mac. That's my number 4.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy. 4.
My number 4 is it's going to be RL Speedwagon Riding the Storm Out as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna save that, but then since it's already been mentioned, so I'm gonna go with Riding the Storm Out by
Okay.
RL Speedwagon. That's one of my favorite songs by them.
Yeah.
It's such a great galloping track, you know. So that's my number 4.
All right, man. So my number it's number 4, right? We're going
4.
Yeah.
4.
Okay. And I'm probably gonna steal your thunder again, Andy. I'm sorry. Because I know how much this artist means to you. But my older brother had this album, had the live album,
I know where you're going.
vinyl. He had Live Rust by Neil Young. And Like a Hurricane, always, like as a kid, always, there's something about that song that always spoke to me. I loved Neil's vocals on that. I love the guitar work. I love that live album. That live album is probably my favorite Neil Young. If I took one Neil Young album to a desert with me, it would be that one because I grew up on that Live Rust album. And Like a Hurricane, man. I mean, just love that song, dude. You know, I just love the whole, just like I don't know, the live version of it is just so ridiculous, man. It's so good, you know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry if you had it on your list, Andy. I don't know what we'll come to it. I guess if you do have it, if not, you know. But Neil Young, I gotta go with Neil Young, Like a Hurricane, for my number 4.
And with the two guitar solos.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, he just jams on that.
Yeah,
Man.
he really does. Yeah.
And, like extends it, and I mean that whole like live album is awesome.
Yeah.
I went with a friend of mine. I had they re-showed like some Neil Young film in like a theater. It was I can't remember the name. It's the one where like Devo's in it. You know what I'm talking about, Andy?
No, I don't.
There's a Neil Young movie. Like it's kind of like it's just a weird movie, dude.
Okay.
But they did back to back, like they did that, and then they did the Live Rust concert, like the concert film after that. And I went to see that in a big screen with my friend, dude. That was like freaking awesome, man. I was like, wow. You know, have you ever seen like the Live Rust concert film?
I did see that, yeah. Man, I went to the movies to go see the Prairie Wind one. But I wonder if you're talking about
I can't remember the name of it now. It was quite a few years
Journey
ago.
Through the Past.
I know it was like late 70s, early 80s. It was around when Devo was in that. He's jamming with Devo in the movie.
Okay, so that was like in the early 80s then.
Okay. Yeah, it was like some sort of theatrical release he was doing on that. So
And
I see something here called Human Highway. Is that it?
I don't think it was that. Maybe it was. I don't know.
It says 1982.
That might have been the one.
It's
Yes,
got to be. It's got
that's
to be.
it.
Yeah.
Was Devo in it? Does it say Devo's in it?
Yeah. Do you know
That's the
Dean
one.
Stockwell? Dean Stockwell was the director?
Yeah.
Wow.
That movie was like pretty strange, but it was it was cool though, man. But they showed that, and they showed the Live Rust concert, so it was like a fucking long night, like
Yeah.
So
Huh.
anyway, Like a Hurricane, Neil Young.
I gotta check that out because I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like Pink Floyd. It's like not that, but like A Song Remains the Same. Like kind of, it's interspersed with like some like scenes, and it just you check it out, man. If you've never seen it,
Yeah.
So that's my number
I wonder
4.
if I can find it somewhere. I'm pretty sure with all the streaming shit we got, I'm pretty sure I can find it somewhere.
You probably find it on YouTube. Who knows?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Jerry, number 3.
Number 3 is I'm not a huge fan of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I was actually glad to see these two get into it because I think they're very well deserving and very underrated artists. And when you're born with chemistry, it doesn't matter how long you've been apart, it's just there. I'm talking about Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics. Here Comes the Rain Again off the Touch album.
That's a great song, dude.
Beautiful fucking tune. And watching that, I think it's one of the best Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performances. It was just those two, and it just sounded amazing, dude. I mean, Annie Lennox, holy shit, what a great singer she is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I even liked her solo stuff. I mean, she's just, again, another one with that unique voice. You know who it is when you hear her voice.
Her voice is so amazing.
Yeah. And what a great band, dude. I mean, they're poppy, catchy, poppy.
But they were
maybe
very
not-
artistic. But they were very artistic, man.
Yeah, maybe not poppy, but
It
I don't
wasn't
know.
syrupy. It wasn't like syrupy
Yeah.
pop. Like, you know, it was really good. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and she
I
pushed.
mean,
They pushed boundaries, man. Like the way she looked with the real short
Mhm.
hair and
yeah.
colored
Yep.
and red and all, you know, it was like they pushed boundaries, man. Like the early days of MTV. You know.
Yeah, and her man dressing too, you know, with her in 3-piece suits.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Nobody
it.
was really doing that, you know.
Nah.
And she commanded on the stage and everything
Yeah.
that she guy was fantastic.
Yeah, did you guys see that performance on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It was just
Yeah, I
fucking
remember
amazing.
that.
It was amazing, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. When two people have chemistry, like I said, it don't matter how long you've been apart. It's just there, man. I mean,
Yeah.
they had it. So anyway, that's what was that number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number
Number
3,
three.
Andy.
Number 3, AC/DC Thunderstruck. Love that song. It mentions Texas. So I just really like that whole album too. I think it's on Razor's Edge. In fact, it starts off Razor's Edge. I really thought that was a really comeback album, but then
It was a
what
comeback
interested me
album.
It was, but then when people like us that love ACDC and ACDC has been a part of our lives forever, you're like they never went away. But you know, when it comes to commercial, yeah. But you know, we were listening to Flick of the Switch. We were listening to who that great compilation that came out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
I never stopped
never
listening
went
to them.
anywhere.
Yeah. I had never stopped listening to them. You know.
No.
Well,
And
yeah,
I never
but they-
will either.
But they became like real popular again with that album, man. It was
Yeah.
like kind of a resurgence, like in popularity, you know.
And
So-
again, it was because of MTV. You know?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really was because of those videos. So that's my number 3.
All right, my number 3. I'm going with "Riders on the Storm" by the Doors. I mean, you can't get. I mean, how can you have a Storm list and not have that song on there? Really, I mean, honestly. And I love the Doors, one of my favorite bands. I grew up on them, so and just the thunder and the rain sounds and everything in that song is just. I mean, on a rainy day, you put that song on, it just fits the mood perfectly, man. So, from their last album, man, you know, "LA Woman." So,
Yeah.
"Riders on the Storm," the
In fact,
Doors.
it was the last track on there. Hey, did you ever hear that album that you found a couple weeks ago?
I have not spun it yet. The Butts Band.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah, Butts Band, yeah.
No, I have not spun it yet. I need to do it. You know, I have so much music on. It's just like, you know, when you get to it, you know what I mean. So
Oh, dude, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I need to.
You guys got me going through so many fucking deep dives into bands. I'm like way behind. It's like fuck. I keep getting Joseph sends me deep dives like every other week. So it's like I gotta,
Hi, Joseph.
You'll never catch up, man.
but he did get me into Nazareth. I never was huge on Nazareth, but I deep dive in Nazareth. I fucking love them now.
Nazareth's a great band, man.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. All right, number 2, man. Go ahead, Jer.
I'm gonna go with what do I got here? Oh, kind of weather related in a way, I guess. You can deduct me a point if you want, but I'm gonna go "When the Levee Breaks" by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, dude, that's
Not
perfectly
flooding.
fine, bro.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, what do we need to talk about that song that hasn't been talked about millions of times already? What a
One of the
great
greatest
song.
drum sounds of all time, dude.
Fucking A, dude. And you know, Led Zeppelin 4 album, man, fucking classic. Blah 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 blah, rubber blah 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 blah. That's my number 2.
It's such a great song.
I mean, what can you say? That hasn't been talked about already. So
All right,
that's my
cool,
number
man.
2.
It closes out Zeppelin 4.
Mm.
There's a lot you can talk about. But my number 2, of course, it's one of their biggest songs, "Rock You Like a Hurricane" by the Scorpions, off of Blackout.
I gotta be honest. I purposely I didn't want to get cliched, and I knew somebody would probably put that on their list.
I had to.
You had to.
I mean,
I thought about it, but
I just didn't go with it. You know, I just let it go off. You know, but no, it's good that you picked it, man.
Now, when they started using it on commercials for Doritos and all this shit, I was like, okay, you know, I don't know about all that, but It was one of those tracks that
Was that in
very,
the Doritos commercial?
it was something.
I thought it was like a Ford or a Toyota commercial. They did.
Oh no,
they
it's been
did it.
used in different kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It's been used in different things. Yeah, but
Hell, I'd buy Doritos if they did. Fucking hey, dude. That's Scorpion doing Doritos. Hell yeah, I'm
and that's
buying
my
it.
favorite album. I love that Black Cat album. It's great.
Well, that's
Well, that's
that's
I
not-
love the first
that's
thing.
a lover for Sting.
love the first stage. That's right. I love that one too. But they were so close together. I mean, they were like
Yeah, I get that. And you know, it is my favorite album. It's like you're not a true Scorpions fan if that's your favorite album. Like, okay, whatever. It's still my favorite album by him. I don't care.
Dude, that's the first album I ever got introduced to them by. Like my older brother.
It's a
had
gateway.
Yeah,
It was
the
a gateway
cassette.
album for me.
It was a gateway
album for me. Yep, absolutely, dude. So,
And when they say, "Oh well, you're not a true Scorpions fan," did Claus say that? Does Claus think that way?
right. I even like Savage Amusement, so it's like a couple of my
I
favorite
like that
Scorpion
album,
albums. So
I like that album
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good album, man.
Yeah, it is.
didn't care for Crazy World too much, but yeah, I mean, I like their later stuff or like that late '80s stuff. I fucking loved it. So I don't know.
All right, man. My number two, and the reason why, and Jerry, the reason why I let that song go when the Larry breaks, because it's on my goddamn list. Number two, man.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no. You were saying, I don't know if it's storm related. It is, man. It's perfectly fine. Levees
Now-
broke in Louisiana.
Now you guys are the huge hip hop fans. I'm not. Was that song sampled a lot? That drum opening
yeah.
in hip hop. It was.
Beastie Boys and many other, I think, hip hop groups. But Beastie
with
Boys
that
are the ones that
drum.
made it famous, like with the sampling.
Gotcha.
Rhyming,
I heard it was.
rhyming and stealing, man. It's what opens up License to Ill.
Yeah, yeah. You see, Jerry, I told you we could talk more about that song.
There you go, man. Yeah, one of the most iconic drum intros, man,
Yeah.
of all time, man. And that drum sound, I mean, it was just
The
fucking.
production of it. Yeah.
I mean, every drummer wanted to seek out that. How do you get that drum sound, man? Zeppelin 4 became like kind of a template, for like going in the studio and getting drum sounds and stuff, man. So
And I'll go into Guitar Star and I will fucking play Stairway to Heaven. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'll do it just to piss you off if you don't like it.
I think it's been so long now. That I don't think anybody even cares anymore, man.
There's those taboo songs: "Smoke on the Water," "Stairway to Heaven." What else is there? There's a few of them in there, just taboo in guitar stores. But
probably
fuck
like,
it, I'll play.
probably like Iron Man or something.
Right? Yeah.
That was like the first song I ever learned on guitar was Iron Man.
Right.
Dun, dun.
That was a cool thing about early Sabbath. Their songs are pretty easy. Their solos are incredible, but his basic riffs are pretty fucking easy to play. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's shit, man. Got me into playing guitar. So
yeah,
Iommi was a riff master, dude. But he can make a simple riff just crush, dude. It's not about. Sometimes it's just not. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't. Things don't have to be complicated, man.
you're right.
I
I remember feeling so proud of myself when I learned Paranoid. I thought that was kind of hard to learn at first because I was a beginner at that time. I'm just that guy now.
Paranoid-
It's really easy.
Well, Paranoid. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but when I think when you first play, I think everybody kind of plays it wrong. You kind of got to do the hammer-on thing, and I think a lot of people don't do it that way. But yeah, I play that song plenty of times too. That's just one of those songs where you can hop up with any band and kind of just you guys can just jam a song, and that's like one of those songs where Paranoid, yeah, Paranoid, man. That's War Pigs was another. I always loved that riff, man. But that's kind of a weird riff, man. You got to play it correctly. There's little variations in the riff that he does. So, man, Iommi was just unbelievable, man. Just a god.
I agree. Yep.
Still glad he's around, man.
Yeah.
So where were we at? Number 2, right?
No, we're going to number 1.
Did I just? Oh yeah, I just did one of Larry Breaks, right?
Yep.
All right, Andy, ready?
Number 1,
Number
guys.
one.
Our number 1 pick were Storm songs.
Jerry.
All right, you guys will probably be like, "Wow, I can't believe you picked this song," but I actually think it's a really beautiful song. I'm not gonna pick "I Wish It Would Rain Down" by Phil Collins off the "But Seriously" album.
Oh,
You know, like I said, I've been really deep diving into Genesis with Phil Collins, and
Yeah.
holy shit, that's a fucking great song, dude.
Oh, that's a
Beautiful
I
fucking
love
tune.
it.
And I'm starting to appreciate Phil as a vocalist now more than I did back in the day. I just thought he was like average, but man, holy shit, he got so much emotion in his voice, man. Incredible artist. I kind of hate myself for not really getting into Genesis with Phil Collins until last 6 months. I mean, I knew their hits and stuff. You know, I'm starting to be able to separate Genesis and Phil Collins songs now. So before I thought I couldn't separate most of them. So, but now I'm getting to the point where I can. But yeah, I mean, it's
such a
I'm
great
so
songwriter.
yeah. And I think I owe you this. I think I owe you, Andy, for this. So just thank you for that, because I missed out on a lot of great music, man. So
Wow. It's never too late, man. It's never too
Nope.
late.
nope. But
Good
anyway,
luck
that's my
with that.
number one pick.
Awesome. Yeah, dude.
Now-
That's one of my favorite songs by Phil Collins.
Yeah.
but the But Seriously album that has
Another Day in Paradise.
that's one of my favorite Phil songs, dude. I love that song so much. I mean, and when you really listen to the lyrics and watch the video, it's like very, very like topical and very like, I mean, still, you know, homeless like problem, and you know,
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
people will get on Phil like, you know, for, you know, writing things like Susudio and silly shit like that, but
I love it.
but damn, but when he got serious, but seriously, when he could definitely write a song that like has a lot of meaning to it, and you know, a lot of emotion, and you know, that's my opinion on it. I think that
Like
album,
something happened
where he really got serious. Like he wrote about,
like something happened on the way to heaven. Holy shit, what a great song that is.
Yeah, that
man.
too.
I mean,
do you
is it
Colors?
song?
Colors is on
Is it
that.
Clapton on that song?
Colors
Something
and do
happened on the
you
way.
remember?
I don't know if he is or not. I'll be honest with you, I'm not too sure who he had with him during that time. So
I know Clapton is on that. I think he's on that song. Something
Yeah,
happened on the
Clapton
way.
is on Wish It Would Rain Down.
Oh, that's it. Wish It Would Rain Down. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he's on the video too. Eric
Okay.
Clapton's on the video.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that he would call this album but seriously after No Jackets Required, because if you think about No Jackets Required, it's a fun album. It's a very fun album.
Yeah.
With fun beats.
Yeah.
And then but seriously, it's a very somber album.
It is.
And
It
it's
is.
very good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the production work is there. It's fantastic.
All right. You're
it
number
held,
one.
it held its own, because I think about 91 or 92, something like that.
No, it was 89.
It was 80.
Oh, it was earlier than that? Okay, I didn't know that.
89.
Okay, gotcha.
89,
Okay, that
yeah.
makes, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. Yeah, that's my number one, Phil Collins. I Wish It Would Rain Down.
My number one, I wonder what it is, but it's going to be Neil Young and Crazy Horse Like a Hurricane. I like so many different variations of this. You know, like Al was saying, you know, of course, the Live Rust is the great one. It's a great version, but also it's also on Unplugged.
Oh, that's a great version too, man.
Where,
Where he's on the pump organ, right?
Yeah, on the pump organ, dude.
Oh,
And just da. It's just great. And he
it's almost like ominous, like that version.
Yeah. So I like all the versions because he's done it acoustically. He's done it so many different ways. But of course, the Live Rust will always be my favorite. And that's the one that I'm going to say is going to be my number one is Neil Young and Crazy Horse off of Live Rust, Like a Hurricane. And it's perfect right there with the other epic tracks like Cortez the Killer and Powderfinger.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
right there nestled perfectly in between. So good. So good.
I was in a band we used to do Powderfinger, man.
Powderfinger's a hell of a track.
Fucking great song, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the storytelling on that is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. My number one.
Yeah.
I'm going with Rush, Jacob's Ladder. Now, this song is about it's about storms. It's got the lyrics in there. Bruised and sullen storm clouds have the light of day obscure. It's actually the song actually references it's a biblical reference, like Jacob's ladder. It's like you ever look at it, like when there's clouds and the sun is shining through the clouds, that has these rays that go through the clouds. Well, in the Bible that was called Jacob's ladder, like the rays coming down.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I love to see that when it comes out of the sky
yeah,
and the rays go all the way down.
yeah.
I love the way that
That's
looks.
it's a beautiful.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's a really cool, beautiful song. Yeah, if you ever listen to that song and really listen to the lyrics, man, it's from my favorite, Permanent Waves album, 1980. I love that album. That song, Jacob's Ladder, is one of the two epics on there, like 10-minute song, so it's a pretty long one, but fucking, man. And on the last tour, like their last tour, they played that. It was just incredible because they hadn't played that since like the Permanent Waves tour, like 1980. So, I mean, that last tour, they were just busting out epic after epic, and I was just like, wow, So, yeah, Jacob's Ladder, man, one of my favorite songs, man, by my favorite artist. So,
Yeah, so it's like when the sun rays bust through the clouds. In other words,
yeah. It's a biblical. If you read up on the song and how Neil wrote it and stuff, you'll read about it. It's a biblical reference, Jacob's Ladder. And you know who had a song called Jacob's Ladder too? Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, man.
You guys ever see that movie with Tim Robbins called Jacob's Ladder? Man, that was a weird movie, man. You ever see that?
No, I never saw that movie. But
he was like a Vietnam vet, but he was like crazy because they were poisoning. The government was poisoning him with something, make him more. Yeah, it's a trippy ass movie. You ever get a chance to see it? It's weird.
I'll have to check it out, man.
Yeah, it really is cool.
All right, so Jacob's Ladder, Rush, my number one. So we can go through some honorables if anybody has any. You got any, Jerry?
Yeah, I got some. I got Ride the Storm Out, of course, REO. I got the Rain song from Zeppelin. I didn't want to get too crazy with Zeppelin, but so that's why I put that as an honorable. Another rainy.
The Rain song is beautiful, dude.
It is. Another Rainy Night Without You, Queensryche.
Great one.
Song.
Great.
And I got, would Red Rain count? I mean, by Peter Gabriel, that would count, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And Riders on the Storm and Stormbringer.
Red Rain is really is that kind of sort of an environmental song?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. A lot of its stuff was environmental. Yeah. Matter of fact, it was environmental.
Yeah, no, but I mean that's fine, man.
Yeah. That's why I didn't put it on my main list. I was going to, but I'm like, I'll leave this as an honorable just in case. But that's mine.
All right, cool. Go ahead, Andy. You got any?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got a couple of Deep Purple with Stormbringer, of course. The Electrical Storm by U2. It's
great. I like that song a lot, dude.
Yeah. Electrical Storm.
Yeah.
Can't Stand the Weather by Stevie Ray Vaughan. I always try to put Stevie Ray Vaughan in there whenever I can. And that's about all I got, are those three.
So nobody picked It's Raining Men, huh? I'm just kidding.
Maybe if Kate was on the show.
Right, there you
But
go.
even I couldn't see her picking that. Couple honorables I have. Slayer, Raining Blood.
Oh, fuck. Come on, Jerry. Fuck.
Aerosmith, Lightning Strikes.
Oh, yeah.
Alice in Chains, Rain When I Die.
Oh, dude, that song, my God. That's like the pinnacle center point of Dirt.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah, so epic, that song, man.
Yes, dude. And it plays perfect right there in the middle.
I got Soundgarden, Black Rain. Triumph, Tears in the Rain.
Oh, Jesus.
I got Dio, Bring Down the Rain. I got Kiss, God of Thunder, even though it's not really a weather song, but I just drew it on my honorables anyway, and that's really it, man. So
would you have accepted Lightning Crashes by Live? Would you have accepted that one?
I would have accepted it, even though I
thought about that one too, but it's nothing to do with weather at all. But,
it's about a child being born, right? Yeah. So one of my favorite. It's that's a great album, man. Throwing Copper.
Dude, Throwing Copper's so damn good.
We just saw, my wife and I, because my wife loves Live, and we just saw them with Stone Temple Pilots, ironically, and
Ed's back with them
with
the
Live
singer.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought he left for a long time.
Well, it's Ed It's
Yeah.
Ed and a whole new band.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, it was the other way around.
He
He's
got-
the one that said he got rid
He
of
got
everybody.
control. He got control
Gotcha.
of the name, and now he fired everybody else, and he has a whole.
Gotcha.
Which kind of like, you know, when I was watching, because I've seen live a bunch of times with the original guys, man, and they had such a chemistry between them because they all grew up together. They went to school together and everything.
Well,
And,
yeah.
and when I was watching them this time, and I was just like, it's just something missing, man. You know, when you don't have like those guys together with you, there was a time when Live didn't have Ed. I went to go see a concert when Live had a different singer. And again, that was not the same either, obviously, because it was just my wife hated it, dude. Because she loves Ed, she loves Ed Kowalczyk. You know, she was like, "This is not fucking Live." You know, she was really pissed. You know,
Yeah.
she was like ready to walk out and shit. They were part of like a kind of a package. Like Everclear did this kind of '90s like package. It was like them, Sponge, and like a couple other '90s bands, and Live was in there. And this was the time that Ed wasn't in Live, so they had a different singer, and they did one album with him. You know,
So he wasn't in the band for a while. Okay, I knew
but then they reunited. They all four of them were together again.
Okay,
You know, for a while, for years, because I saw them a couple years ago in New Jersey. They opened up for Counting Crows, and they blew Counting Crows off the stage. You know, and in my opinion, I know, Andy, I know you like Counting Crows.
I love it,
was never a big fan of theirs, but anyway, I'm more of a Live guy. But anyway, but he was together with the band. But something happened along the way, man. He somehow got control of the name, and he fired all those guys, man. I don't know, dude. Money, dude.
that sucks, man. You these were the guys that you were playing in a
grew
garage
up
at one
with,
time
man.
together. Exactly.
You know?
Fucking A, dude. It sucks when that happens.
Yeah.
It's always for, and the thing is, it's just for a bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah,
You
pretty
know,
much
because
so.
when you get these session players to tour with you, you don't have to pay them as much. But like I was saying, it doesn't feel right or it doesn't sound right.
It didn't. Yeah, the chemistry. They did the songs well, but you know, it's like because him and Chad Taylor, the guitar player that was in the original band, they had this like chemistry on stage. They would like they would do like these moves and jumps together. It was just there was like this chemistry that they had, and like that wasn't there on this one, man. It was just like you know, but whatever, man. And life goes on, bro.
Yeah.
Right. And that album did have a lot of hits, like 4, I think.
Oh my god, yeah.
But dude, the whole album as a whole, it's just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It is so
I Alone, that was a fucking great tune, man. What was the other hit off that?
White Discussion.
White Discussion, the way it is.
Lightning Crashes. Iris. There's a bunch of great songs on there, man.
Dude, but White Discussion.
And the one after that, was it Secret Samadhi? Is that what it's called?
That was
a good album too.
Yeah.
Heavy. That's a heavy album too, if I
Yeah.
remember right. I mean, it really was. Yeah.
The Dolphins Cry was on that one, and
Lakini's Juice. I think that was a big hit.
That was a pretty heavy one. Yeah.
It was.
That
Yeah.
was the my lead-off hit single. I mean, that was the single that they released the first.
I remember the video of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a porno or something they were filming, kind of, wasn't it? The video, kind of like a mock porno kind of film or something. It was weird. The video.
Oh yeah, it was like it was like couples,
something like that. Yeah, I remember the video now. Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that.
It was almost like Caligula or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, for real? Huh? Interesting.
kind of like that Fiona Apple video a little bit.
Yeah.
On the lines of that.
Oh, that's
suggestive, but not too suggestive. You know.
Right.
Safe. It's safe.
It's that criminal song. It's the
Criminal. That's it. Yeah.
Criminal. Yeah.
It's
I always thought she was hot too. I'm weird, but I always thought she was hot too.
Oh no, she was, man.
I don't know. It was just
really.
You're just too drugged out.
She had a sexiness about her, man.
She looked too
crazy.
Yeah, it was like
sometimes you want a little crazy, you know. You want to taste it crazy, and then you don't want to. I had a taste of that. I'm good.
She's the kind. If you broke up there, she'd call your house every hour on the hour, every 10 minutes, and hang up on you.
Or like the kind of girl that says, "So when are we going to meet your mom?" You're like, "Are you crazy? We're going to take you around anyone I know."
Tells you that she loves you on the first date. It's like, oh wow, okay.
Well,
Why do you think that? Why do you think I take you to the movies? I want to see you.
I always thought Liz Fair was hot too. I don't know. I got a weird taste.
You
Man. I
see,
can't help
Liz
it.
Fair was different because she didn't have the ring around her eyes for some reason. She always looked like she hadn't slept in so long.
When you come down, man, it's rough, dude. I'm telling you.
And Fiona Apple always wore dirty clothes, and nah, dude, I wasn't feeling it.
I think she was wearing dirty clothes, was she?
That's what she looks like. She's all rolling on the floor. Get up, girl. Shit. Walk around.
all right, Andy. What do we got going on next week, man?
Yeah, next week, we're going to do it on the Tuesday
Yeah.
night. We are going to be ranking the last tracks on Beatle albums. It's on October the 8th. John Lennon's birthday is on October the 9th. So we're honoring that birthday. Also, Mark Alden Taylor's birthday is also on October the 9th.
And he's going to be on the
He'll
show
be on
too,
with
right?
us. Yeah.
All right, cool.
And I think I'm going to try and get Edwin because it's also his birthday
Yeah.
on October the 9th. So I'm trying to get a whole birthday extravaganza going on. And Jerry, I don't know if you're too familiar with the Beatles songs, but if you want to be, but if you want to be on and just listen to their last tracks. And
Yeah, like I
see-
said, I'll let you know on Monday because I don't. My schedule changes like day to day,
Yeah.
so I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, sure, dude. Of course.
Yeah, it'd be fun to do. I mean, like I said, I love learning from you guys. So
Yeah. So we're
I'll
doing
take
that.
it. I'll take it as going to class. So
So, yeah,
we're doing that next Tuesday.
So thank you everybody for joining us on Tuesday night. It's a day early. We usually do our shows Wednesdays,
Yeah.
but thanks for joining us live on Tuesday. Andy, thank you very much. Obviously, Jerry, always a pleasure to have you on here, man.
Yes, thank you, Jerry.
And check out
Thank
Jerry
you.
on the BS sessions and plug your stuff, man. Go ahead. 3 shots down.
me and Andy got the 3 Shots Down podcast.
Yep.
I'm working on a YouTube channel with kind of a reaction video type of thing. I mentioned it to Andy before if you want to be
Yeah.
a part of it. Like we're gonna do like pop songs that we never heard before, like I don't know, like Dua Lipa or shit like that. Pop songs, where we pick, and just see how we react to them when we hear them. What else? I'm gonna go see I just found out today, and I hope my wife goes with me because I can't drive to Nashville. I can't drive on those highways. It's Tom Hamilton's new band called Common Enemies.
Oh, that's
doing a
right.
show.
Oh,
Is doing a
he's got
show in
band.
Nashville, not this Friday, but next. It's only $20, so I'm kind of hoping she can go with me on that one because I don't have anybody that wants to go with me,
Ah,
unfortunately.
man.
It's their first performance, so I'm kind of hoping I go see that. So I'm looking forward to it.
That'd be
That's
cool, man.
cool.
Yeah,
Maybe
Tom-
Chris, or maybe
yeah.
Chris or Aaron or somebody will be there. Maybe I could hang with them or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Tom coming out with a new band. That's cool, man.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's hard to give it up, man. After so many years, you just want to keep going, man.
Yeah, that's their job. That's their life. How can they just stop? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's their first performance first live performance as a band. And it's at the East Side Bowl. It's like where the Rocket Pod always does their, when you meet the podcaster night, the pre-party or whatever it's called. So really cool place. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I get to go to that.
Cool.
that does
All right.
sound really cool.
All right, well, everybody, man, thanks for joining us tonight. And we'll see you next week on Tuesday, a day earlier again.
Yeah.
Ranking the last tracks of the Beatles album. So,
Yeah.
And that's it, man. Have a great night, everybody, and cheers, and
Yeah.
have a great rest of the week.
Yeah.
right.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Jason
Oh,
Paulson.
And Chris
Also, thank you so much to Chris
Elliott, Redbeard video. Check out his channel, Redbeard Videos.
Yes,
on,
so fun.
YouTube.
So much fun stuff. And he will be with us on BS Sessions on
Thursday?
So that'll be cool. That he's
What are you guys doing Thursday on the PS?
We're doing bands that we can't understand why they're not bigger or were
Oh.
bigger in their days.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was his topic. So
Bands that should have been bigger, you're saying?
Should have been hearing our opinions, So
Yeah.
more,
Okay.
yeah,
All right, cool.
pretty cool.
like,
But thank you for having me on, guys. Seriously, this is fun.
oh yeah, of course. But like to me, the Beatles are big, but they could have been bigger. They could have been bigger.
Who? I never heard of them.
Jeez, how much
Check
bigger
it
can
out,
you get,
Gary.
man?
Check them out. BEATLES. Google them.
Okay, I will.
They had this fantastic bass player named Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
Yeah, check him out, man.
that's it.
Is that devil music I keep hearing about? You guys listen to?
On the ones that
Those-
Elvis talks so bad about.
Those mop tops. Anyway. All right, man. Have a great night, guys.
All right, yeah.
Take it easy. Thanks.
Cheers.
Guys, good night.
Yeah, Andy, sorry, man. I'm just too tired, man.